go in and type that you are present. And I see Napur signed in, Lily signed in, um, CC, if you can, there you go. CC is present, Rachel is present. Okay, so I think that's it. One, two, three, four. There's one more.
Kathy.
Oh, Kathy.
Okay.
So Kathy, do you see the blue? It's like a light blue chat icon down at the bottom right of your screen.
Yes,
Next,
I've been
yeah.
hitting that.
Okay, so if you click on that, then
Oh, yep. Thank you. Just present. Thank you.
Okay.
did you, did you type present in the bottom?
Yes,
There's
I have.
Okay, great. Thank you, Kathy.
so one, two, three, four, five, six. Okay. So CC, it's for your start the meeting, ma'am.
All right, so hello everyone. Right now is 6:39 p.m., so I'm going to call the meeting to order at 6:39 for the Measure I Citizens Oversight Committee regular meeting on March 8th, 2022. So we're going to start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. I don't have a flag with me, but I guess we could envision one. Um, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all. All right, so the next item on the agenda is roll call, and I believe that's already been done since everyone has typed present to chat. So we're going to move on to agenda item number 4, which is just welcoming the new member, Lily Toy. So welcome, Lily.
Thank you. Nice to meet everyone.
All right, so the next item on the agenda is the committee attendance reports per bylaw 5.1. And essentially, based on bylaw 5.1, it's you can't miss a certain number of meetings. And currently, Divya Modi has missed meetings on May 27th, September 23rd, and December 7th, which means we have to, I think, vote to decide whether or not they should remain on the committee. So do I have a motion to vote for this?
So hang on. I hope you can hear me. So I did want at the start of the year. Of course, I had carved out some time, but work and a few other things have come in my way. So I do understand that if you it's kind of getting difficult for me to attend. So I voluntarily withdraw. I mean, I do apologize if I've caused any hardship because I did want to serve on the committee, but I've just like life sometimes gets in the way of getting things done. So I understand that I've not attended the meetings as necessary. So I'm okay to voluntarily withdraw. So you don't guys don't I mean need to vote. If you want to vote, go ahead and have the vote. But it's like okay, I I just am not able to devote the time that I need to at the moment with all the other responsibilities going on.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
So yeah, me too. I mean, did want to learn a little bit more and participate. So appreciate the sentiment.
Robbie, can I say something?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to let the committee members know that the district has decided to move forward with virtual meetings for all committees.
Mm-hmm.
And so I do believe that will make it easier for our committee members on all of our committees to be able to attend their meetings and work it into their schedules. So I'm hope that the committee members will take that into consideration, because we definitely want people to serve, and it's not always easiest to get people to serve on our committees. And we definitely want people to learn and get familiar with what the district does have to offer and what we are working with. And it's important for the district to work closely with our public. And so I just wanted to make that statement.
Okay, I do appreciate that, and I do take that in. That virtual meetings will make it easier. Even with that, I find that at least in my case, I hope that everybody else can continue to take advantage of that. In my case, I'm not able to devote the time and do justice to what needs to be done at the moment. So yeah, I mean, I do want to. Yeah, go ahead. I mean.
I just had a quick question. So, are all the meetings for this school year going to be um, virtual? Is that my understanding?
So currently, right now, the board did approve that meetings can be done virtually. Um, we don't know in the future if it's going to change or not. But right now, the board did make an action that it can be done virtually.
Okay. Okay. Uh, all right. So getting back to the agenda, I think if you guys need to take a vote, I don't need to be on it as far as I understand. And I know I'll sign off at the moment unless there is anything else I can do. Or can I, do you need anything from me? If not, I'll sign off.
Is a vote necessary then?
I'm thinking if Diva is going to be withdrawing
Mm-hmm.
voluntarily, then there's no vote to be done.
Okay. But can we just like add that as part of the agenda or the meeting minutes that vote or it's either I'm quitting before you fire me. This is just a joke. No, it's sorry, just some levity here. But yeah, I really appreciate the time and this, what I got to learn from this committee, and just hoping that I can devote some time in the future. At the moment, my circumstances are not such that I can devote the time. And again, I apologize, and I wish you all the best.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you, Divya.
All right, bye bye.
Bye.
All right. Also on agenda number 5, so I think the second part is just to inform all members that I think Paul Stacy's resignation was effective as of December. The next item is going to be the approval of agenda. So are you going to screen share it, Abhi?
Bear with me. Oop, wrong one. Do you see it now?
No.
No? Okay. Uh, Stop presenting.
We can see it now.
Okay. I know it says draft here, but this is the final one.
All right, so this is the meeting agenda for today's meeting. Everyone can look over, and then when you're ready, do I have a motion to approve?
A motion to approve.
Do you have a motion to second?
Second.
And I think we're going to type into the chat to vote based on what was said in the beginning. So type Y into the chat if the agenda is approved, if you approve the agenda. All right, so that's a majority. So the agenda has been approved. All right, the next item is to approve the September 23rd meeting minutes since there was no quorum on December 7th, meaning that there are no minutes for the December 7th meeting to be approved.
Hold on.
So here are the meeting minutes for the September meeting. After everyone looks over it, can I have a motion to approve? Okay, I guess I can motion to approve. Oh, are people voting already? You have a motion to second. Okay, and then type Y into the chat if you want to approve the September meeting minutes. All right, so that seems like it's a majority, which means that the meeting minutes for September have been approved. All right, the next thing is oral communications. So are there any oral communications at this time?
There are no oral communication at this time.
All right, so moving on, next is the update on the Measure I's Citizen Oversight Committee annual report at the October 13th board meeting.
So I just want to let the committee knows that we did present annual report to the Board of Education, and the Board of Education was appreciative of the report and also appreciative of the committee members as being part of the Measure I committee. So, and they didn't have any questions.
All right, thank you. So the next item is to present and approve the revised 2021 to 2022 Parcel Tax Financial Report. So I think we can start with the presentation.
Let me. Wrong one. This is sometimes the reason why I don't want virtual meetings. Sorry. Technical difficulties. Uh, but I'll get the hang of this. Window. Okay. So, what is in front of you, or probably also in your screen and also in your handouts, is the uh, Measure I parcel tax analysis. Um, and what we have here is the different periods when we made the presentation to you, adopted, revised budget, another revised budget as of March 2nd, and then the actuals of March 2nd and projection as of March 2nd, and of course the variance. So revenues, prior year we did receive $2,200, actually not received, but there was an adjustment from prior year receivable that I projected that we're going to get. So it's I projected more than what is anticipated. That's the reason why there's a negative $2,200 in there. For the current year projection, we uh, on December 7 we said that we're going to get 4.46 million. But we when we received the actual 50% of 2.2 million, we made the adjustment on the revised budget as of March 2nd, making it a 4.45 million. So it's a $10,000 decrease from previous projection. And so we are projecting if we receive 2.2, we're projecting that we're going to receive another 2.2 million. Um, about 45% of it is going to be received prior to June of 2022, and then the 5% would be after June, after all of the collection is made, after Alameda County Assessor's Office collected all of the taxes, including the late payments. So that's the projection. Contributions, uh, because our revenue decreased by $10,000, we are projecting that we're going to increase our projection for contribution from general fund unrestricted by that same $10,000. So it's from 1.388 million to 1.389 million. And so that is a projection, and that will be realized when we actually close the year. Um, then the next line is the parcel tax collection fee. So out of all of the collection that the Alameda County treasurers, they do charge us. So the 50% was charged around about $37,000, or $37,000 that they charge the 50%, and we're projecting that they're going to charge us another $37,000. This is less than what we projected of 75,000, but we'll see what happens when they actually uh, at the end of the year. So now we've talked about the revenues and some of the fees that we have to pay. What are the expenditures that we're charging for um, for the Measure I partial tax? So just like before, based on the ballot of the ballot, or the language of the ballot that was approved by the voters, we are charging science prep teachers, elementary school, 26 FTE, did not change from previous reporting, and we are projecting 2.9 or almost $3 million on the budget side. And we are anticipating that we're going to, as of now, we spent around 1.7 million, and 1.1 million is projected until the end of the year. There is $173,000 remaining, that could be a savings, or possibly would pay for the salary increase if negotiation goes through. But I think some of the reason why there is this remaining money is there are vacant positions. The next part is the LMTs, or the library media technicians. We fund the LMTs in elementary and junior high school. Total FTE of 28.33 FTE. And then we're projecting 2.1 million, and we've spent already 1.2 million, and we're projecting until the end of the year $721,000. There's a remaining balance of $152,000 on the budget, and that is for paying out the vacation of the LMTs. So every employee of the district earns vacation. For those less than 12-month employees, they get or accrue or they get vacation, but if they could not use their vacation, they get paid at the end of the year. So because they could not go out or take vacation, go somewhere, so we have to pay that accrual for them, or that vacation to them. That would be the same thing for the campus supervisors, where we pay or include in the Measure I a total campus supervisors of 12.02 FTE, budgeted around $700,000, already spent 411, and there's $234,000 that is projected until the end of the year. $43,000 is the variance, or the difference between projected actuals and also the budget. So that would be the same thing uh, for the vacation payout. So overall, we budgeted 5.7 million, and we already spent 3.3 million. We're projecting to spend another 2.1 million until June 30th. Um, we could not project for the vacation payout because each employee has different circumstances or situation. So it's only at the end of the year that we would know if we are actually going to spend this $370,000. It's either going to be used for vacation payout, or um, if negotiations goes through, that money would be also spent for that. If the money is not enough, then the contribution would go up from the unrestricted general fund. The last line is just showing to you where it says this balance remaining of negative 1.1 million. Is just showing to you that the money that we're expecting for the parcel tax, because they give us in installment, so we are spending more, or we are disbursing or spending more money before we actually get the cash. So it's just a cash flow issue. We are expecting that we are going to get that $4.4 million, but we're not going to get it now, but we're going to get it the in June, and sometime in August or September. And that ends this presentation. Any questions?
Sorry, maybe everyone already knows the answer to this question, but Robbie, you mentioned that the general fund unrestricted refunds will basically account for any differences we might have against projections and the current actual received from the parcel tax. Is that right? So whatever the difference we are lacking, we'll be able to get from the general fund?
Yes.
Okay, so regardless, will come out enough to cover the expenses.
Yes.
Okay, and then on the salary increases and along with the vacation payout, so we won't know until the end of the school year, is that right?
So for the vacation payout, we will not know until the end of the year. You are correct.
Okay.
However, for negotiation, it just depends on when the district and the different bargaining units would agree, and also when the Board of Education approve the the
Like,
negotiations.
okay, got it. And then you mentioned that of the science prep teachers, we had 26 FTEs, but you said there might still be some open headcount that hasn't been filled yet. Is that still true then, or are we, or is that affected by the raises that the union may be able to negotiate?
I think we would see that on the next presentation that I'm going to show
Okay,
regarding the different FTEs at the different school site of what is vacant and what is filled.
okay, sounds good. Thank you for the explanation.
Are there any further questions? All right, if not, could I get a motion to approve the revised parcel tax financial report?
Motion to approve?
Motion to second?
Second.
All right, type Y in the chat if you approve. All right, I believe that's 5 votes, so it passes unanimously. All right, the next item on the agenda is to just confirm the next meeting and schedule. Oh,
Cece,
sorry.
sorry, I have to do the staffing report also. I forgot that just looking at the agenda item. So the next thing that I'm going to present to you is the staffing. Do you see it in your screen right now?
Yes.
Okay. So for us in the business side, so these are the staffing projection or staffing report by account number. And what I have here, I think I have the wrong one.
You've got names on this,
You have
Robbie.
the
Yes.
wrong one, Robbie.
Okay, I think
Hold on.
you better take that off.
Yes. I'm stopped sharing. So I just noticed that. Um, there you go. Okay, hold on. How am I going to do this? Press download. Uh,
The one that was attached to the agenda has the names blacked out.
yes. There you go. Here it is. Do you see it now?
Yes, we.
Okay. So for us in the business side, we have codes that tells us what is this, and is this a partial tax funded or something like that. So just want to let you know, here in this account here, which I'm highlighting, 0031, that tells us in the business side that this is the partial tax. So all of the positions that we funded in Measure I has this code 0031. And then also just want to let you know that some this code here, the 1000, tells us this is instructional. And then just a brief overview of our account code structure. And then here, everything that is under 1100 object code For us, it tells us this is a teacher. And then this location here tells us that this is at Aceveda. So you see it also on the top where the resource is 0031, says parcel tax. And here the 1000 function code tells us that this is instructional. And here it tells us in the location that this is Aceveda. So these are the different positions that we're paying from the parcel tax. So FTE authorized at each school has one, and it's assigned, meaning that there's somebody in there right now. So here at Blakeow, there's still an unfilled position and says here it's vacancy. And also here, it tells us that there is a vacancy there and no zero on the FTE assigned. So we know for the science prep teachers, there's one FTE vacant at Blakeow. And if you scroll down some more, there's another one. Hirsch also has a vacancy. Also at Vallejo Mill, there's a vacancy. In Warm Springs, there's also a .2 vacancy, meaning a part-time teacher is filling up only 0.8 FTE and a 0.2 is vacant. So here's the subtotal that authorizes 26, but we only filled 22.8, and there's a vacancy of 3.2. The next line here are the library media technicians. And it's this code here that tells us that this is library media tech. And if you scroll down some more, if we scroll down, I think every position is filled here. Yeah, and here's the subtotal. So we authorized 28.33 FTE and everything is filled, no vacancy. The next one tells us this is the campus supervisors or the noon duty supervisors. So none of it's the cost center that tells us that it is the noon duty or campus supervisors. So for junior high school, middle schools, and high school, they are called campus supervisors. So if we scroll down, I think there is one vacancy here. No, I was wrong. Everything is filled. So here is the subtotal of the campus supervisors. 12.02 is assigned, and authorized 12.02 was also assigned or filled. And here is the total of the partial tax. It's just subtotaling everything or totaling everything that there's 66.34 FTE, 63.14 is filled, and 3.2 is unfilled or vacant. So I was able to find the report that didn't have the dollar amount but showed the FTE, but of course the names is there, so we have to take that out because of confidentiality purposes. And that ends my report.
Thank you so much. Does the report require a motion to approve, or
It's actually part of agenda item number 10.
all right? I think we can approve it then. So do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Motion to second. All right. As usual, type Y into the chat if approved. I believe that's all 5 members, so it passed unanimously. All right, so moving on to the next item, which is confirming and scheduling the next meeting, which I believe is in May. So is there a specific date? We could have it on a Tuesday again in May. So that would be May 10th. Would this date work? All right. So do I have a motion to approve the next meeting date for May 10th, 2022 at 6:30 p.m.?
Motion.
Motion to second.
I second.
All right, type Y into the chat if you are all right with the next meeting date. I believe that's all members again, so pass unanimously. All right, and then the final thing is to just adjourn the meeting. And so right now it's 7:14 p.m. and so the meeting is adjourned. Thank you everyone for coming.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
All done, Robbie?
Did you stop recording?